Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rock and Metal Guardian. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing great wherever you may find yourselves. Blessings to all of you wonderful people out there. Today I'm ranking the entire Black Crowes discography from worst to first, if you will. And we'll go ahead and get started. There are 11 total albums involved. I am going to count both of the anthologies in this ranking, and I'll explain why as I get to them in turn or in kind. So let's get started. Coming in at dead last, number 11, is Happiness Bastards. The album cover, right off the bat, suggests that perhaps this album may be half-baked because the album cover is very lazy. They took the album cover from their second album, this album, phenomenal record, and glossed over it with like a paint or a sheen, and then put the title of the album, Happiness Bastards, over that. It's very, like I said, half-baked. It's very lazy, very similar to, I'm going somewhere here. It's very similar to David Bowie's The Next Day album, where they just took Heroes and put a big white box with The Next Day over it. Very lazy, but the difference between the two albums is while both of those album covers are extremely lazy and half-baked, David Bowie's music that is contained within an album is not half-baked, where, again, just my humble opinion, I think that the Happiness Bastards album is extremely half-baked, and so the suggestion of the album cover does, at least for me, tell you what's inside. Music that is lackluster, going through the motions, if you will. I think the album has little to no merit. There's one or two songs that I say are average at best, and the rest of it's kind of meh. Again, I think they're going through the motions, and I use the phrase half-baked because we all know the story of the Black Crowes, that Chris Robinson and Rich Robinson's respective solo careers were not doing well, so they put the band back together, but not, the drummer, long story with the feud with him, right? And it was about recapturing past glories, but more importantly, it was about cashing in, and it was about money because the finances weren't rolling in anymore because, as I said, the solo careers of the two brothers wasn't doing that well. And so it shows in the music. It comes across as going through the motions. As I said, we're all, it's kind of the Kiss route, right? We're in it for the money. Make of that what you will. So I don't own the album, although I've heard it 4 or 5 times. And if you look up the tracks here, on my notes here, the songs that I like, that I think are just slightly above average, I would say are Wilted Rose and Dirty Cold Sun. Bleed It Dry is okay. The song titles are amazing, suggesting some wonderful stuff, and yet Cross Your Fingers is okay, but I don't like Bedside Manners and Rats and Clowns and Kindred Friend at the end. Follow the Moon a little bit, but it's just, I don't know, it's lackluster. It's a going through the motions, as I said many times. Sorry for repeating myself. I guess I'm like Allen Iverson, sometimes have to emphasize the point. So yeah, Happiness Bastards, not an album for me. I still wanted to love it, but I just don't, and I have to be honest with myself and be honest with those of you out there watching. All right, next comes at number 10 is Warpaint, which I do own. Everything else I do own in some fashion. So here's the album cover. And unfortunately, it doesn't list the song tracks. You have a nice little kind of posterish booklet in here kind of thing. It's kind of cool, I guess. And you got the Black Crowes. That's always cool to look at, I guess. But this album was disappointing, hence it being so low in the ranking. It's not a terrible album whatsoever. So again, I'm going to pull up my notes to talk about some of the titles. What are the standout tracks? Okay, Rolling Stone gave it 3.5. AllMusic gave it 4. The Austin Chronicle gave it 3. Paste gave it 4. Robert Christgau, there's a bomb symbol on Wikipedia, which I don't have up, but I have it in my notes here. He said it was a bomb. I'm sorry. I dislike Robert Christgau as a critic. I think he's a malcontent masquerading as a critic. But anyway, so let's talk about some of the song tracks. There are 11 tracks. There's some really cool stuff here. Goodbye Daughters of the Revolution I really like. However, at the same time, when I listen to it, it's like I've seen or heard this movie before, and I can't put my finger on exactly what song or songs it seems to be mimicking or borrowing from or imitating or just self-plagiarism perhaps. I do like it, but there's just something in the back of my subconscious going, something's missing, something ain't right, that kind of thing. It is a good song nonetheless, not a great song. Walk Believer Walk, there are times, this is a weird song, I have a love-hate relationship with the song. There are times when I listen to it and I think it's fabulous, and there are other times for whatever reason I listen to it, I think it's awful. Make of that what you will. And then it really gets going. Oh Josephine, Evergreen, We, spelled We, W-E-E, Who See the Deep, Locust Street is fabulous, Moving On Down the Line, and Wounded Bird, all those songs. So tracks 3 through 8 are amazing. And then you get to God's Got It, Reverend Charlie Jackson tune, a gospel tune. I like it. I'm not in love with it. It's just an above average song, but I do listen to it from time to time, sometimes on a Sunday since it's the Lord's Day. But I do listen to it outside of the Lord's Day. And then songs 10 and 11, I just cannot stand. There's Gold in Them Hills and Woe Mule, especially the last one, I just cannot stand. So while there's some wonderful songs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 11 songs, so about half of them are wonderful, solid, and then some other songs that are meh or just plain terrible like the last two, or average or slightly above average, it still comes in at the second to last spot, because what remains in the discography is just so much better than what's here, if that makes sense. But the good news is that Warpaint is much, much better than the last album, Happiness Bastards. Now, let's talk about number 9, which is Croology, again an anthology, but I have to include it here despite the fact that it's all previous release songs. All these previously released songs are acoustic, re-recorded versions, and it's one like an unplugged kind of thing. And the only new song here is a cover song called She, which is a cover song from the Flying Burrito Brothers, co-written by Graham Parsons, and I forget what the other writer in the band was for this particular song. But yeah, you have songs like Jealous Again, Share the Ride, Remedy, Nonfiction, Greatest Hits, if you will, Hotel Illness, which I just love, Soul Singing, phenomenal, Ballad and Urgency is wonderful, one of my favorite songs, Wiser Time, Cold Boy Smile, Under a Mountain, etc. Good Friday, I'll read a couple others. A Girl from a Pawn Shop is amazing here, although I like the original better. Sister Luck is great here. Bad Luck, Blue Eyes Goodbye is just, it's such a great song here, even though I like the original. So yeah, I have to count this as well. This is so much worth owning. Weird setup here. You have the gatefold, and then it opens up again. You get the little swamp thing going on. But yeah, I think this is fabulous, and it's worth owning if you can. I don't know if it's in print. I want to say it is, but I'm not sure. All right, now, next comes, so that was number 9. Number 8 is Before the Frost, ... Until the Freeze. Unfortunately, they have, to my knowledge, not released ever both albums in one package. When you bought this, originally, you got a code to digital download the second album, which is Until the Freeze. I think this is a wonderful album, although it is flawed. So I guess I should say it's just shy of wonderful. Kind of a cool pastoral album cover, because a lot of Appalachian style music here, fiddle and other things like lap and steel guitar, and the phrasing and the singing and the themes of the songs and the lyrics are much different from what we have previously in the band. And some critics have said that this was a natural progression, perhaps from Warpaint. Not sure I agree. Most of what's contained here I do like, so let's talk about the tracks. So the first song, let me pull up, since pull up my notes, since I can't read the handwriting here of the the track listings. So if we talk about the first album, before the first part of the double album, Before the Frost, Good Morning Captain, I love. It's a great way to start the album, I think. I think some people were turned off by Good Morning Captain because it's far removed from what the band was doing before. One of the interesting things, love it or hate it, that the Black Crowes did, I like and don't like, for me personally, is that once they got the first debut album out the way, they started to slowly and gradually move away from that humble pie, Rolling Stones, Faces, quasi-Zeppelin inspired type music, and infuse soul and gospel and rhythm and blues and southern rock, and inspired by the band, Bob Dylan's band, the Last Waltz kind of music, that kind of, they played some of that stuff live, like The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, stuff like that. So this sounds, Black Crowes doing, Appalachian style music, a la kind of like the band, although the band is more than that, but, that kind of thing. And then you get Been a Long Time, and then parentheses, Waiting on Love. This is my favorite song in the whole double album, and that's because you have some real, well, this is the Black Crowes I know and love. Despite it being a different album, you have much of what you find in the early discography, the first two albums, if you will. You have some kick-ass guitar here and keys, some kick-ass keys, really. And then the guitar solo at the end is just fabulous. Perhaps a little Zeppelin-esque, perhaps. It's wonderful, my favorite song here. And then you get the wonderful Appaloosa, a great ballad, showing the new direction they're going in. Then the fourth track is A Train Still Makes a Lonely Sound. Very much a ballad. It's a wonderful tune, and it's one of those goosebump type songs for me. Then you get the turd of the double album. This is a song I cannot stand, I Ain't Hiding, which has this awful disco bass beat at the beginning. It boom 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 boom. I hate it. To me it's disco, and it's just it put it out as a B-side on an EP or something. It doesn't belong here. It doesn't fit with anything else on the album. So a Chris Robinson penned song, I don't like it at all. So of the 11 songs on Before the Frost and the 9 on Until It Freeze, this is the only one I don't like. So you have 11 plus 9, you have 20 songs, 19 of them are good or better. All right, so Kept My Soul is fabulous. This is a song I gravitate towards time again. Then you get the wonderful What Is Home, wonderfully thematically rich, philosophical. What is home? And it makes you think about, alienation, isolation. What does home mean to you? Very thought-provoking and cerebral. Houston, Don't Dream About Me. This is a song I can do without, though I do like it, if that makes sense. It's very repetitive, and it goes with the album at least, as opposed to I Ain't Hiding. So Make Glad. Like Houston, Don't Dream About Me. I like the song, but I think it's just slightly above average. I'm glad it's here, though. I do sometimes want to listen to it. And The Band Played On, track number 10, I think is a stellar tune. And then, boy, my second favorite song on this album, The Last Place That Love Lives, Chris Robinson pen tune. A goosebump type song, a slow ballad, a love song. It's rich, it's thematic. The lyrics are phenomenal. The music here is it's one of my favorite Black Crowes songs of all time. When I heard this, I was like, oh man, I'm loving this album now. Because at first, it took me a second or third listen to really appreciate this album. But yeah, The Last Place That Love Lives is just, to me, one of the best Black Crowes songs of all time, and one of the best rock ballads of all time in this vein. Next, we get the second album, the digital download, Until the Freeze. You get the mostly instrumental Aimless Peacock, which I do like, and then towards about 4 or 5 minutes in, you can hear Chris Robinson singing kind of gibberish way down in the vocal, way down in the mix. It's cool, but not great. I'd rather it was just purely instrumental. I do like it. Then you get the Shady Grove, which I do like, and here you begin really, while you have some Appalachian flavors on the first disc. This is really where you get the Appalachian style, more fiddle and Cajun country type or Appalachian style rock music, southern type rock with the lap steel guitar, that sort of thing. So Shady Grove is great. Then you get to the Garden Gate, which is just slightly above average or average. It's a little hokey. Let's go down to the Garden Gate, the Garden. I'm not singing it right, but it's okay. Greenhorn is great. 7 minutes, 12 seconds. This is a wonderful song. Shine Along next, I think, is a very, very good song. It's not amazing, but I do like it. I love the lyrics, especially. Then the last 4 songs, Roll Old Jeremiah, Lady of Avenue A, So Many Times, and Fork in the River. Well, I'm sorry. Of those 4, Roll Old Jeremiah, So Many Times, and Fork in the River are very much that Appalachian style music, which are very good songs. They're not great, but they're very good. But Lady of Avenue A is phenomenal. One of the best tracks on this double album. So this comes in at number 8, ahead of Chronology and Warpaint and Happiness Bastards. All right. Now, coming in at number 7, riding the waves of coming off the tour with Jimmy Page, is Lions, and we hear that in the first 2 songs, which are Midnight from the Inside Out and Lickin'. You got some kick-ass drum and rhythm section on these wonderful opening tracks, these 2 opening tracks. I love them. They're my 2 favorite tracks. But then, go back to my notes here. Overall, this is a very good album. It got 3 stars by a lot of critics. I haven't written down in my note too, but I love the 3rd track, Come On. I think it's fabulous. No Use Lying, some wonderful lyrics. Losing My Mind, we can all relate to that. These are, while I love Midnight from the Inside Out and Lickin', I think are the best tracks in the song. I would say near perfect songs. Come On, No Use Lying, and Losing My Mind, the 5th track, are very good songs. Ozone Mama, it's okay. I wouldn't call it meh, it's okay. Greasy Grass River, another slightly above average song. Soul Singing, the hit off the album, would fit very well on the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion album. Gospel, little R&B going, it's a wonderful song. My 3rd favorite song on the album. Miracle to me is amazing. It's a stellar, emotive song, a very moving, goosebump type song. Then you get Young Man, Old Man, not a song I care for really all that much. Cosmic Friend is decent. Cypress Tree and Lay It All On Me, I think, are quite good. If you have the Japanese version, Love Is Now, which I've heard it's okay. All right, so this comes in again at number 7. When this first came out, I was so stoked. It's a good album, very good album, I would say, or just shy of very good. All right. Everything else on this list is very good, or better. All right, coming in at number 6 is By Your Side. I hate the album cover with the pretentious, ostentatious dress, the hat especially. But besides that, you have some wonderful songs here. Go Faster is kick-ass, Kicking My Heart Around, kick-ass in a different way. The message here is wonderful, meshes so well with the music. By Your Side, the title track, is wonderful. Horsehead, I think, is a bit of an underrated gem that a lot of people ignore. From my experience talking to people, but I like it. Only a Fool is fabulous. Heavy, I think, is quite good. Welcome to the Good Times, my least favorite song, is a bit, I don't call it a meh, but it's a bit average. Go Tell the Congregation, this would belong very well on Lions, and because of Soul Singing, it would be fit right. Well, I'm sorry, it would go well right after or before that song and lend a little bit more Southern Harmony vibe to that album. But anyway, it's here. Go Tell the Congregation would fit so well on Southern Harmony. Diamond Ring, also a song that's a little meh for me, or I'm sorry, slightly above average. Then She Said My Name, I think, is just fabulous. This is a compelling song, very moving, goosebumps for me, hair on end kind of thing. And then Virtue and Vice, I think, is a very good song, not a great song. So this comes in at number 6, By Your Side. This next one, boy, I tell you what, it took me about 3 listens for me to appreciate it, and now it's definitely, well, it's in my top 5. I'm talking about Amorica. We have the not abridged, but censored version, if you will, thank goodness. Right off the bat, Gone is fabulous. A Conspiracy is wonderful. Hi-Hat Blues, nice bluesy track. Cursed Diamond, one of my favorite tracks. Nonfiction, one of my favorite tracks. She Gave Good Sunflower, I don't like at all for whatever reason. Just doesn't do anything for me. P25 London, I think it is a stellar track. Ballad in Urgency and Wiser Time are my 2 favorite songs on this album. Of those 2, Wiser Time is my favorite song here, and definitely in my top 10. Downtown Money Waster is very good, and Descending is, I would say, good. So yeah, this is a wonderful album, so different from the first 2 albums, and perhaps why I fought it at first, but I began to appreciate it around the 3rd listen. Let's see. Okay. All right. Coming in at number 4 is 3 Snakes and One Charm. I remember hearing one of the songs at a wedding, and I danced to it. I can't remember which song it might be. Oh, it was Blackberry, which at one point was my favorite song by the band, but no longer is. We have the songs Under a Mountain, Good Friday, that religious gospel type stuff that's, wonderful. The wonderful Nebuchadnezzar, biblical reference, so a little gospel perhaps, sort of. Doesn't sound like a gospel song, but the lyrics in a way do. To some extent, this is a very earworm type of song, at least for me. Under a Mountain, Good Friday, Nebuchadnezzar. What a great way to start the album. 1, 2, 3 punch. One Mirror Too Many, perhaps my least favorite song, but it is a very good song on here. Blackberry, I just love. It's a gotta get up and move type song. Girl from a Pawn Shop, very Americana, similar but not the same in the vein that Pearl Jam had, Girl Behind the Counter or something like that on the Versus album. Then you get the wonderful Only Halfway to Everywhere. This is the quintessential sound that Black Crowes has with songs like Only Halfway to Everywhere. Bring On, very good song, not great. How Much for Your Wings, I just love. There's a certain, the rhetorical question and makes me think a little bit, not sure if it's intentional, of In My Time of Dying from Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin because of the song title. Let Me Share the Ride would fit so well on By Your Side, very similar to that song and others on that album, as is Halfway to Everywhere. Better When You're Not Alone, a great slow ballady type song. And then Evil Eye, a song I used to like. Now it's kind of drony and goes nowhere for the most part. It's okay. So it's the only song I used to like on here that I really don't gravitate towards anymore. But anyway, 1996, still have it at number 4. Number 3, have to pull up my notes for this one because I don't own this in physical copy, just MP3 format, and I'm trying to see where it is in my notes. It's here. Here we go. This came out in 2006, talking about the Lost Crows, where you have the band sessions and the tall sessions. It's a double album. I bought this for my brother-in-law for his birthday or for Christmas, and I wish I had bought it for myself because it's out of print. All right, so the tall sessions is disc 1, the band sessions are disc 2, and you get A Conspiracy, which was later re-recorded and released for Amorica. Evil Eye, which I just talked about. Cursed Diamond, later re-recorded and released on Amorica. London P25, again, later re-released and recorded for Amorica. Then you get a song that's not on anything else, and that's Dirty Hair Halo, which is a fabulous song. That's why you get, one of the reasons why you get this album. Hi-Hat Blues, later re-recorded and released as Hi-Hat Blues on Amorica. Then you get the song Feathers, almost 7 minutes long. Another reason why you get this album. It's not on anything else. Then you get the song Nonfiction, again, re-released and re-recorded for Amorica. Wiser Time, same thing, Amorica. Sunday Buttermilk Waltz, formerly released as Sunday Night Buttermilk Waltz as a bonus track on the remastered version of Amorica. This is a new mix, so it's different from the Amorica version. Another reason why you get this. Descending, another song later re-recorded for and released for Amorica. Then you get Lowdown, same deal with respect to Amorica, but it's called Ballad in Urgency. So the Lowdown is an earlier version of, Lowdown was a different version, is a different version of Ballad in Urgency. Tornado, which isn't on anything else except something called Phosphorescent Harvest by the Chris Robinson Brotherhood. So that's where you can find it. So if you're not interested in the solo stuff, if you will, you can get it here. Another reason why you get this. Song of the Flesh. This is a new mix, also found on Amorica. And then you get the wonderful, another reason why you get this album, Thunderstorm 654. Not sure why it wasn't on any of their previous albums, but it's here. Another reason, as I said, why you get this album. Then you get to disc 2, the band sessions. Most of these you can't find anywhere else. Another reason why you get this album. Paint and 8, which is worked into Come On. This is an earlier version of Come On, which is found on Lions. Then you get another Roadside Tragedy, not found anywhere else. If It Ever Stops Raining. Okay, this is later re-recorded as By Your Side, so this is a different version. Wyoming and Me, can't find it anywhere else. Predictable, can't find it anywhere else. Never Forget This Song, can't find this anywhere else. Life, Vest, and Grinnin', only place you can find it here is on this double anthology. My Heart's Killing Me, this song also found on Brothers of a Feather Live at the Roxy, featuring Chris and Rich Robinson. If you're not interested in getting that, if that's still in print, this is the only place you can find it. And then Peace Anyway, which is re-recorded and released as a B-side for By Your Side. But if you don't have that version, I don't have that version of By Your Side, so I have it here. So much of what's on disc 1, the Tall sessions, you have already somewhere else, but a lot of that is different versions. And with respect to the band sessions, most of what's here cannot be found anywhere else. This is why you buy this, and again, it's a shame it's out of print. And why it's number 3, and why I include it here is because while it's an anthology, you have so much here that is either alternative versions or new songs that you can't find anywhere else. So I count it as one of the best double albums of all time, and I often will just put this on and listen to both discs, and in the same vein that I listen to Physical Graffiti, although the music's different, of course. There's just a wonderful, and both discs go so well together. It's a joy to listen to back to back, both discs. So it's my third favorite recording from the band of all time. Next, coming in at number 2, their second album, their sophomore effort. What can you say about songs like Sting Me, Remedy, the 2 hits of the album, Thorn in My Pride, I think also a hit. Bad Luck, Blue Guys, Goodbye is just amazing. Sometimes Salvation, some gospel. You got a bit of gospel here with Remedy and Thorn in My Pride to some extent. Hotel Illness, as I said, is wonderful. Black Moon Creeping is an okay song. No Speak, No Slave is wonderful. It's very powerful and emotive. My Morning Song, I just love. And Time Will Tell, I think, is a good song, not a great song. But this was a surprise coming off the debut. And like I said, when you go from this, which I'll talk about in a minute, to this, and then to this, and then to this, you see that the Black Crowes are gradually changing their style, piecemeal, if you will. And then these two are, you could perhaps, because they're so similar, listen to as a double album in many ways, I think. So yeah, this I think is just one of the best rock albums of all time. You want to call it Southern rock, go ahead, different blend of Southern rock. But yeah, it resonates so well with so many of us. That's why so many of us put it high up in the rankings. It's just fabulous. Different types of rock here. Again, the gospel, the R&B, the soul, the blues, the hard rock in spurts. Just great. And then finally, obviously, my favorite is the debut. This is the greatest hits in many ways, as this is. Twice as Hard, Jealous Again, you know the songs, right? Sister Luck, Could I've Been So Blind? Let's talk about those 4 songs. Twice as Hard is a great way to start the album because it invites you in and shows you that the band means business. Yeah, we're inspired by Humble Pie and the Faces and the Rolling Stones, and to a little degree Zeppelin, but we're making it our own. We're inspired but not imitating really that much. There's some imitating. You can hear the influence is what I mean, but it's not a deliberate plagiarizing. It's not, totally 100% derivative. You can hear a little derivativeness, if that's a word here, but overall they make the genre of that type of bluesy, soulful rock their own. Twice as Hard invites us in and never lets go of us if you're a Black Crowes fan, right? Jealous Again, we can all relate to this, about someone who perhaps has taken our girlfriend, or someone like Jesse's girl maybe, that we wish the girl was our girlfriend, kind of thing. Sister Luck, a downer of a song, and yet cathartic, emotive, powerful, Shakespearean in the sense that sometimes fortune smiles on you, and then sometimes fortune giveth and fortune taketh away, kind of thing. And this is about fortune and luck abandoning us, right? Such a great song. Could I've Been So Blind? Very similar to number 3, Sister Luck, but more upbeat, yet the lyrics very, very much of a downer, but yet at the same time, because at least now my eyes are open and I can move on. What a great song. And so similar to 4 thematically, perhaps a part 2 to Could I've Been So Blind, seeing things for the first time. A hint of that gospel foreshadowing the next album. Great song. Look at those hairs on end. Seeing Things for the First Time. Seeing Things, the name of the song, is great. Hard to Handle, the Otis Redding tune, the first hit off the album. I love it. Thick and Thin, that's the song that got me into Otis Redding. Thick and Thin, perhaps my least favorite song, but I think it's a very good song, not a great song. And then, of course, the acoustic, ballady, goosebumpy, She Talks to Angels. Don't have much to say about it. It's just wonderful. Then, to close out the album, you get 2 wonderful Rolling Stones type Faces songs in Struttin' Blues and Stereo Cold, which are just wonderful. I love them. The whole album never gets old, including these 2 tracks. And then the bonus tracks, which I only have on MP3 for the debut, are Mercy Sweet Moan, which is only 1 minute and 8 seconds, which is okay. I appreciate it. But Don't Wake Me is a fast, up-paced tempo song, which I just love. So there you have it, folks. These are the Black Crowes. This is the Black Crowes discography, ranked for you Black Crowes fans. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. Bye now.